I'm definitely a lover of fun. Please help me welcome to our stage tonight, none other than your lead trainer, Mr. Jesse McPherson from the Manila, Philippines. Take it away.
Hello, Shar. Thank you so much and appreciate everything that you always do for our entire Viago community around the world. All right, I am gonna put all right, we are set. So can you hear me? Can you see me? Give me some thumbs up. Always love those. So if you can put your cameras on. I always love seeing those beautiful smiling faces from around the world. What's going on, Kathy? Shanda, I see you over there. What's up, Steve Monroe? Why are you looking so glib? There you go. All right. Uh, uh, we've got, you're working. I get it. Okay, fine. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Signing somebody up. I got it. In any event, welcome to our Tuesday night training. Jesse Mack coming at you here live from the Philippines. It is Wednesday, April 16th, 9 a.m. for me. The future is bright. And yes, the joke will never get old. I will say it every time. So get used to it. In any event, we are a couple weeks away here from our Amplify convention in Atlanta. And to tell you that I'm excited about it would be an understatement. I'm going to do my best to contain a little bit of that as we go through some of this information and kind of preparing us for what we have, where we're going, and some of the details in between. One of the main things that I want everybody to know is that you are definitely in the right place at the right time. And the thing I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to take advantage of is that you kind of set your sail or set your path or set your trajectory in the right direction. And because of that, I want to have an important conversation tonight that it might not be what I consider the sexiest conversation, but will, I believe, lead you to the sexiest lifestyle. I don't know why I'm doing quotes when I say sexy. But Uh, the main one of the main things that I think is important is when people get started inside of our business, and if you're brand new, I want to welcome you to Club Viago, to our experience, to our community. I know when people get started, it's like, okay, I want freedom and financial freedom, and what does that look like? But a lot of the times, the work in order to get to the result that people are looking for is one of those things that people avoid almost at all cost. And today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what the work is in order to get there, because it's amazing once you get this thing set up and you've got that residual cash coming in and you have members from around the world, a part of your team that love the value, they love the benefits, they love the savings, they love the trips, they love the travel. In fact, if you decided that you didn't want to do Viago anymore, they would think you are batshit crazy. Excuse my language, right? Okay. And that's what we all want, is to get to that point. But how do we get there? And how do we get to that next level? And I'm going to share with you something that for me has not been a breakthrough for me this month, but has been a reminder of something that was so important to me at the beginning stages of my career that helped me get to the point right now where I want all of you to be. And where what I mean by that is I want all of you to go on vacation. And when you come back from vacation, there's more money in your account than you spent on vacation. How many of you guys would be down for a little bit of that right now? Okay. Now, how do we get there and what does that look like? Now, the path is never easy. In fact, asking for it to be easy is not what you should be asking for. You should be asking for it to be worth it. Okay. Because the things in your life that you truly love, whether it's relationships or success, is legitimately some of the hardest things that you've ever done. In fact, the things that were generally the most challenging when you got to the end of the finish line, whether it was something that you won or something you completed, that is what it is. So the path of least resistance will never give you pride. And I want you to be proud of the things that you're doing because they were challenging and because they weren't easy. And maybe that is going against the grain, but love being around people that are not just well, I'm just going along with the flow and I'm following what everybody else is doing. And this is just the way it's always been. And I'm like, no, no, no. Well, you can't do this and you can't do that. And you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, why would you have cake if you can't eat it? I never understood that expression. What a weird expression. You can't have your cake and eat it. What is the point of having a cake if you can't eat it? Right? Now, maybe you shouldn't eat the whole cake. But that's a whole nother subject, so that we won't go down. But the idea, what I really want is what if you can have your cake and eat it too? And more importantly, what if you can have the cake and share it with all the people you love around you? Like, what, like, why? Why can't we, you know? And now, granted, just to say, yes, that's what I want, cool. Okay, well, how do we get there? And I want to give you a pathway that I believe is kind of, the key or secret, to that pathway, which is not a secret because, what's the secret? Work. But what does the work look like? And what is the thing that is really important for us to get there in order for us to be able to kind of live that freedom lifestyle, right? So I'm going to get into that. But before I do, I want to give you guys a little bit of details in terms of what we've got, where we're going, and a few things that are coming up here, okay? So first off, let me pop this up, bam, 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 and we'll get into it. Okay, so Elite Synergy System, what are we? So continue sharing. Okay, I think you guys can see. So Elite Synergy System. So myself, Muzaffar, the team, we have put together basically a system that helps you as a resource center with training and presentations and PowerPoints and videos, and we are constantly updating this and getting more and more. So over the course of this year, you're going to see this system continue to evolve and continue to provide for you more things to create what I would call duplication. And that duplication is to become now more replaceable than be remarkable. What we want it to do is be something that saves you time. So that way you have a resource instead of being ready reference that you can say, look, hey, I'm new, check this out. Hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. Most of you, when you get started, do this spare time part-time. To expect you to be the expert in all this would be stupid, naive. And so the main thing we want you to do is that when you're bringing people in, they have a resource. Now, let's say you only want to go 2 miles an hour in your business, but you sign up somebody like Jesse who wants to go 200 miles an hour in his business. I've got tracks for that. So, and where to get it. Now, presentations, information you're going to find here on the site. Now, one of the most important systems that we have here is our Inner Circle. So if you have not subscribed to the Inner Circle, this is obviously from our VIP parties, but most importantly, our training. And we've been dropping new things into this literally on a weekly basis. I want to thank you to James and Jen and all the team that's been setting this up, and Eric for all their hard work. And I can't wait for you guys to see more and more things that are going to be happening here with our Inner Circle. At our convention in May in a couple of weeks here. But some training events. So, right, these are just from replays. This was one that happened April 9th on the benefits of Viago Health Plus with Clearwater. Man, I'm telling you, this was a big one. When you take a look at value and what people got a chance to earn and save. So the replay is up on the site, elitesynergysystem.com/Viago Health. I would highly recommend. You'll learn from major medical, supplemental coverage, how to reduce out-of-pocket costs with zero with care options. This is a big one. So great value for your team and a resource for you to point to when somebody says, how does that work? Watch this. Daily presentations. I just did a daily presentation this morning. I just did one, which you will replay will be up on the site and stuff like that. I do want you guys to know that going forward after Atlanta, all replays of our Tuesday night trainings, our TNT trainings, are going to be only available in the Inner Circle. We're going to be doing them live, but then all replays you're going to find in your Inner Circle inside of our app, which you guys will see some updates from this weekend. But where are we all headed? We're headed to Amplify. Now, for those of you through North America, we also have our Amplify event in June in Greece, and the Escape package is going to be put together and going up live here this week. So stay tuned. They're just finalizing a few details for that. But we are also creating a new website, which is going to be launching in Atlanta, but which is going to be goodlifetrainings.com. So instead of going to a team site or a system site or Viago events, everything related to Good Life Trainings, you're going to be able to get at goodlifetrainings.com. So schedule, events, tickets, hotels, registrations, everything related to our events, whether it be Amplify or our next event Elevate or our next event Velocity or our next event Playbook, which are our 4 events that we have in a year. Everything is going to be on goodlifetrainings.com. In fact, I think if you go there right now, it forwards to our existing site, but something to be looking forward to. Now, who do we got? We've got Eric Grisbowski, Matt Morris, Muzaffar Nashvi, Troy Brown, Jen Ober, Franco Villarreal, Kia Valentin, and Patrick Newkirk. So these are going to be your training lineup for the weekend, and also some special guest surprises. I'm telling you, these guys are going to bring some incredible, incredible heat. If you haven't got a chance to see the guest trainers videos and get a chance to hear their testimonials and stories inside of our Facebook group, make sure and you go check these out, and we'll put them on the website. Kia's was so amazing if you didn't get a chance. Hotel block is sold out. So make sure when we launch the hotel block for our next event, go get your hotel rooms right away. But obviously there's great hotels nearby that you'll be able to get to and get that agenda on the website. We're going to go through more of that a little bit later. Our white party on Friday night. Going to be amazing. I bought some white shoes this weekend, so I feel I'm excited. I'm never the guy that gets excited about dress up stuff, but I was like, now I'm starting to get into it, and I was like, I gotta represent, because some of y'all go all out with your outfits, and I love it. So, and dress to impress on this is going to be a lot of fun. Our company's crazy promotions. I titled today as April showers. So it's some heavy cash showers. What are we talking about here? We're our triple play. So we've got this huge recruiting contest that's available right now. So if you get into the top 5, you win cash prizes. If you get 20 or 30 points for the month, we double, triple those cash prizes. But not only that, we have double cycles. We've got 4 points left and right to earn a cycle and 2 points per pack. So really, what are we talking about? We got like 4 promotions running right now for the month of April as we are in launch mode in Viago into our Amplify event. Now, so like to not take advantage of them this month would be kind of crazy. Now, if you look at it, is to get into the top 10, you only need a handful of points to get some goodies. But right now, number 5, the cash prize, that's 6. You got to get 6 between now and the end of the month and get there. So it's time to step it up and go after this. Now, for those of you guys, one of the most important things in crossing the stage at Amplify is Club 6, is getting 6 and making sure your membership is covered. So this is how you walk the stage, but also how you get your free membership. This is the first step in the process of basically advancing through the Viago compensation and your road to residuals, is going out there and getting 6. So now this is the next big escape that I'm planning and putting together. We have a 5-day 4-night, but we've also extended it now that you can book an 8-day 7-night, especially for those of you coming from the US, coming to Vietnam for 4 nights is come for 7. If you can only do 4, come for 4. But this 7-night trip for only $6.99 after your points, myself, the Grisbowskis, I know there's going to be a handful of amazing leaders that are coming on this trip as well. So this is available for you to book on your Club Viago site under the Reward Escapes section. And there's a lot more coming. I do know there's a lot of other teams and trips. There's Playa and there's Mexico and this. This just happens to be the one that I'm hosting, and it's going to be amazing. So if you have never experienced Vietnam or thought about coming to Asia, this is the one. So the promo video that's coming out this week for Vietnam is going to make you salivate, and like the FOMO is going to be real. By the way, in case you don't know, FOMO is FOMO, which is fear of missing out. Sometimes somebody said that the other day, they're like, "What's FOMO?" And I was like, "Oh, cute." It's what the kids say. In any event, so those are a few things on that I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of as we head into the event. So, so get your tickets, get booked here, and let's get into it. But I want to talk to you guys about, like I said, the subject of getting into here today, which is one of those things that is super important, which is tracking. So please write this down in your business, is tracking. So this is, as you're taking notes, I'm going to give you some things to write down, and I want to give you a few things for you to pay attention to. So what do we mean by tracking? And I also want you to write down these phrases. Know my numbers. Know my numbers. Okay. Know my numbers. Other things to write down is, inspect what you expect. Okay. Inspect what you expect. And the idea is if you want something to grow, you must track it, unless it's your weight. And then if you want something to shrink, you must track it. So in that case, but tracking. So now what we mean by this is basically tracking. Now, another word you want to add towards that, which I'm not going to go deep into, is accountability. But I want you to write down that word, accountability. Now, what I mean is being accountable to your numbers in this. Generally speaking, most people, when they get started in their life, if you grew up like most of North America, it was go to school, get good grades, and get a good job, right? So, and then if that doesn't work, get a second job. And if that doesn't work, go back to school so you can hopefully get a better job. And blah, 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 blah. We all know the story. All right. Now, in this is people a lot of times don't realize is that when it comes to work or comes to employment, you are accountable and there are things you're tracking. For most people, though, that tracking is a timesheet, right? You clock in, you clock out, and there's usually required things that you do during your work, some more than others, some businesses and companies more than others. However, in your business, here's the thing is when you join inside of Viago, what do you have to do? Nothing. which like which is a positive for some of you. For others of you, it's a negative in a way. And what I mean by that is this is because there is nothing that is required. Now, some people say, well, you have to pay your membership. Well, technically, you don't have to do that either. Like you don't have to. You don't have to pay your membership. Obviously, you can't access your Viago. You don't get your getaway. You're not active to be commissionable, but it's not a requirement, right? So what I mean by is what do you have to do? The answer is nothing. So what do you get to do? So here's where you start getting into the nitty gritty of the build of going, all right, so if I'm going to be successful in this, instead of treating Viago like people say treat, if you want your business to pay you like a business, treat it like a business. Well, what does that even mean for most people that have never owned a business? And I would say more so treat your business like a job until it pays you like a business. And what I mean by that is is you are accountable towards certain things that you are doing on a regular basis, and you don't get the chance to say, well, I don't feel comfortable doing that. If your job says you do this, you do that. You're not like, well, I don't know if I want to do that today. I didn't feel like it today. Well, your boss is like, well, I guess you don't feel like working here anymore. Like that's generally how it speaks when it comes to employment. So tracking and knowing your numbers is understanding what the job really is of being a successful Viago ambassador. Okay. So what is knowing your numbers? And this reminds me of a training event that I went to many, many, many years ago, probably 10 years ago, called Business Mastery, which was run by Tony Robbins. He does it in Las Vegas once a year. It's $10,000 to go to this week course. And one of the speakers at this, which was one of my favorites, a guy named Keith Cunningham. Keith Cunningham was basically the rich dad from Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in the story. So, and what he talks about in that, he said the number one reason why business owners fail is they don't know their numbers. They don't know their numbers. So, and in this, one of the things is as an ambassador is know your numbers. Now, in the very beginning, what is knowing your numbers is your amount of invites or exposures. Okay. Invites or exposures are the first thing you want to start tracking inside of your business. Okay. So a good example, if you were on every Zoom, you went to every convention, you listened to every audio inside of the inner circle on repeat. In fact, you listened to them 10 times and you did all of that, but you didn't invite anyone. Have you made any money? No, right? So you haven't, right? So it's like, look, if I want to be successful in real estate, if I am not calling on qualified prospects, then I'm not making any money. I can go to as many real estate courses as I want. So one of the first things to start tracking and knowing your numbers is your invites and or your exposures. Now, the next thing to start tracking, in that is your presentations. So now people that are on, just because you invite somebody and say, hey, are you open or check this out, does it mean that they've actually seen the presentation? No. Now, it's hard for someone to say yes if they haven't seen a presentation. So invites are supposed to lead to presentations. Now, if you're new, I'm not expecting you to do a presentation off the jump, right? So now if you're excited about doing it, go for it, right? But the most important thing is to learn from the presentations. How do you do that? Get on the live presentations. You watch 10, 20 of those bad boys, you should be able to regurgitate them like lyrics to his songs, right? So the idea is that you're going to be learning the presentation by watching the presentation. So inviting. All right. Now, whether you're inviting someone to see a presentation or you're doing the presentation, those are things to start tracking. Okay. So when somebody has the expectation of going, okay, how do I make money in Viago? It's like, well, invites should be leading to exposure, should be leading to presentations, which should be leading to yeses. It's also going to be leading to no's. It's also going to be leading to maybes. It's also going to be leading to kindas. It's also going to be leading to, well, I'll see how you do first. It's also going to be leading to, I need to talk to my spouse. It's also going to be leading to all the other blah, 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 blah. You know, so those people that are like wishy-washy, I call them noodles. You guys know those people? They're like, can you make a decision instead of being all like, and I'm like, God, could you just, you know, so maybe that's just me. Anyway. But does anybody like me just go like, can you, God, like, like just say yes or no, please. Can you just do that? Steve is holding up the sign. I see it over there. When I people, you know, so you're going to find a bunch of them. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to understand. That's part of the process, but I want to go back to the main thing. I'm not going to distract myself. Tracking. So tracking leading to accountability. Now, here's the thing is this. So we're tracking our exposures. We're tracking our presentations. That's really the name of the game. That's the business. That's the business. So that's what we do, right? Is we introduce people to our club. And then after those people get introduced to the club, they get to see the details behind the club and then decide if they want to join the club or not. Or think about joining the club forever and then yes or no, right? So that's the business. So if we're looking at the tracking side of this and how we do that, now, if it's that simple, why do so many people fail? Because there's a lot of people in our industry that don't make it, quote unquote. Now, why is that? And I was always like, what's the difference? What's the difference between the people who get started, who have, they don't know more people. They're not more skilled. They're not more talented. But they end up making a ton of money versus those that make a little bit of money versus those that make no money, right? So what were those differences? And I want to share with you something that's been more of a recent breakthrough for me that I think is something that's really important when it comes to this level of accountability, and something that if you don't have, I highly suggest you get, and I'm going to give you guys some tips on where to get it, which is a workout partner. So write this down. Who is my workout partner? Okay. Who is my workout partner? Now, I want to talk about this because when I first got started in this profession many, many moons ago, so one of the big things that they talked about in the as a list of these are the most important things you need to do every day, every week, and every year. And it was a very simple list of things. And it started with, they called it the 8 things. There wasn't even a title to it. It later became what they called core commitments. And those core commitments, there was 10 of them. So of 10 core commitments, and they were like the 10 commandments. And it was like, if you do these things, you get in, it's like the 10 commandments. You do these things, you get into heaven. If you don't, you go to hell, right? And the idea behind it was like, if you do these 10 core commitments, you get into heaven on earth. And if you don't, your business goes to hell, So, and we were pretty fanatical about it and maybe even obnoxious. But one of those commitments of these 8 things that it started with was the idea of making sure that you have a workout partner. Now, let me share with you guys here a little bit on what it is and what this is and what it's not, because this is important. Okay. First of all, your workout partner is not your mentor. Number one, here's what it's not. Okay. So, and I'll give you a good example is I just signed up yesterday, a guy that I'm super pumped to work with. He's like 33. He lives in my building. We met because I needed help to get his internet when I was first getting set up here a couple months ago. He moved to the Philippines 10 years ago. He was doing documentaries on bringing in investors into the Philippines. He's from the UK. He's got, long hair. He looks like a Greek chiseled god. He looks manufactured. It's like, you're like, are you serious? And he's charming, and he's nice, and he's well-spoken, and he's doing humanitarian projects and recycled furbish things. And you're like, can you at least be dumb? Because anyway, amazing, right? Amazing dude. Okay. And so anyway, he goes to the gym that I go to, right? He's not my workout partner. He's I don't even have the goal to get to his level, right? So just so you know, because he's got like his abs have abs, those people, where you're just like, and it's anyway. So uh it's let's keep it. He's not my workout partner. Why? Because if I go and try to do his workout, I will die. Okay. So we're not on the same level. I don't even think we should be in the same gym. You know what I mean? Right. So like I don't even do working out, compared to what he's doing. Now, I just started getting back into weightlifting. So which I just started literally last week. Okay. Now I found a workout partner towards this because I go to gym and do some cardio and do that stuff. Yeah, I'm not I can do that by myself. But for weightlifting, I won't do it unless I got a buddy to do it with. I just won't do it. Or if I do it, it's such a like baloney thing that I'm not really doing it, right? Because one of the things that you need when you're doing something difficult, the idea is it's designed to be uncomfortable to the point of failure. For those of you guys that know anything about lifting weights, if you want to grow a muscle, you have to break it. That's how you do it. Now, you have to do it in a controlled environment. What I mean by that is not to the point of injury, because if you are working out and let's say you're bench pressing, right? So for those of you guys that know, right, you lay down, you're putting that bar and you're putting the weight on. If you don't have somebody to spot you, it's dangerous, like for real. Okay. And let's say we're going to do 10 reps. What's the most important rep? And people will say the 10th. Nope. The 11th and the 12th. It's the one that you couldn't do by yourself, that you need somebody to help spot you to get you to the finish line, right? So, and also in case something goes wrong, in case something you need somebody there to spot you. So now, what you generally are looking for in a workout partner is somebody that's roughly around your area. So a good example, if you're a silver, a red diamond is probably not your workout partner. You guys get that, right? So same thing on this case. They could be your mentor, but maybe not your workout partner, something you're aspiring to. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't be accountable to them. It won't be that you're not being aspiring to be them, but they might not be your daily conversation, okay? So what it is. Here's another thing your workout partner is not. Your workout partner is not your spouse. Okay, so X-nay on the spouse A on your workout partner. You're like, no, Jess, you don't understand. My wife, we're a tag team. No, no, done. No, no, no. Uh, definitely no. And especially for those of you like, no, no, you don't understand me and my spouse. 100% no for you. Like, so no. You get one spouse. You can have as many workout partners as you want. All right. So, okay. Now, so here's the thing. I don't want your relationship to be based around you being accountable. Now, it might not be that you might do some of this stuff where you let her know what you're doing or let him know what you're doing on a regular basis, for sure. And maybe you do that a part of your marriage meetings and you do that a part of your stuff because you are a partner in life. Totally understand. But this one, just trust me. Okay. So what you're looking for in this is somebody, okay, that you're going to be accountable to. Now, what is this on a workout partner? You're going to be connecting with them daily. Now, it could be a call, it could be a text. Doesn't necessarily have to be a call every day. Once a week, you're definitely doing a call. Okay. So once a week, you're doing a call. And what you're doing is you're sharing and planning your week of your activities, meaning what it is that you're going to do and what it is you're going to track. Remember, I said tracking? The key to your business and your successful business is tracking the right actions and activities and then learning how to repeat them over and over to develop the successful habit. That's what we're looking for. Is because how you create a successful business is you create successful habits. And the fastest way to do it is through tracking, but having a workout buddy that you can be accountable to on a regular basis. Because look, if we're left to our own devices, how many of you guys are really good at talking yourself out of stuff you know you're supposed to do? Like, I mean, so it's easy to do. We're great at it. Like, it's weird, right? And we know we want freedom, but it's like, how do we get ourselves to do this? So who's your workout buddy? Okay, so talking every day or texting every day. And here's all that it is necessarily is what you are going to be accountable for that is only in the area of these invites, exposures, and presentations. That's it. Because it's the only thing that matters. So currently right now, I have taken on a workout partner. I have a workout partner that I'm lifting weights with, and I have a workout partner that I'm accountable to because she's long distance for me. So, and because she's long distance, I can't, but I'm accountable to her to my food, meaning everything that I eat, I have to take a picture and send it to her. And I'm accountable towards my workouts every day. So, and just tracking it. That's all I'm doing. I'm tracking it. And here's what I'm going to do. And then I'm sending her at the end of the day, here's what I did. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I did every day. How do you win your year is you win your month. How you win your month is you win your week. And how you win your week is you win your days. You string together some successful days. We call that momentum. It's not that complicated, guys. Now, it's not easy. It's easy to have a good day. Just so you guys know, it's easy to have a good day. it's hard to have a good year of every day being strung together good. It's not easy. I'm telling you. So, for sure, if it was so easy to be incredibly fit and successful and financial and have love and abundance in your life, more people would do it. I think we'd all agree on this, right? So it is challenging, okay, to have successful days over and over. But if we don't focus on the grand, and a lot of times we're guilty of this in network marketing, right? When I ask people their goals or their dreams or what do you want, people are like, I want financial freedom and black diamond. And I was like, okay, well, what did you do today? Oh, well, I thought about the business, you know? So it's like, well, what's the plan to track it to get there? Like, yes, I know you want to hope to get to these ranks and these levels and this income, but hope is not a strategy. We need a real strategy for you. And what is the daily actions, right? Your DMO, your daily method of operation. And right now is this: if you're struggling to be consistent on a regular basis with something, you need a workout partner. Now, many people go to the and they're like, I need a workout partner. No, no, no. You need to be a good workout partner before you get to find a good workout partner. Now, people say, where do I find these people? Well, maybe on this call, right? Maybe in the Elite Synergy Facebook group. Okay. You know the best place to find a workout partner? Amplify. Here's my personal opinion. Okay. If you are serious about building your business and your workout partner is not in Amplify, they're not your workout partner anymore. Do not be workout partners with somebody that is not coming to the events, because then they're not plugged into the system and they're not, it's like saying, well, I want to be your workout partner, but I don't want to go to the gym. Yeah. Sure, buddy. Okay. So Amplify is where I feel you are going to find probably one of the best workout partners. Now, for those of you guys that are trying this on, you might not find a good workout partner right away. They might not be good for you, or your time frames don't match up, or whatever it is. Okay. And they feel like the idea is that you should both be contributing to each other, not just taking from each other. If you both go to fill each other's cups, to inspire each other, to hold each other to accountability towards your actions. And the idea is that your workout partner is there to help you to get to do the thing you might not have done if you had to do it alone, and to get you to strive to get a little bit further in it. Now, the goal is to push you out of your comfort zone, but not into your shock zone. A good example is this: if you're struggling to do 2 exposures every day consistently, okay, your workout buddy's like, let's do 10 a day. That would be like me trying to go with my buddy Joseph, who lives downstairs, and go do the weights that he's doing. I'll hurt myself. In fact, I'll maybe not even want to go back to the gym. The point is to grow ourselves in small incremental steps to create those habits that are winning. Okay. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. If this is making sense, drop a yes into the comment section. And understanding, got a workout partner. So, and I got this. Here's another suggestion. This isn't, I'm not as mandatory on this one, but it's definitely a suggestion. I don't believe that your workout partner should be in your upline, nor necessarily in your downline. Okay. All right. I think a lot of times your best workout partners are people that have no financial vested interest in in your success as a personal. Doesn't have to be. I'm not super strict on this one. But generally speaking, I just find it better. Okay. So a few different things. Now, what are you connecting with on a daily basis? Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I did. That's it. There's no story. There's no fluff. There's no like, well, my dog ate my homework. There's not like, well, I was going to go to the gym, but, you know, blah, 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 you know, no, you're doing it or you're not doing it. Here's what I'm doing. Now, here's a great thing to add for those of you guys that haven't added this to your tracking is follow-ups. Okay. So meaning if I'm talking to somebody today, let's say Shar is my workout partner. Shar would be a wonderful workout partner for anybody because she is going to kick your butt. So in this, but let's say I'm talking with Shar and I'm saying, okay, Shar, so here's the thing. I need to follow up with John, Joseph, and Zach today. Perfect. And I'm going to do my exposures and I got a presentation. Cool. Right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so in the next day is now I'm accountable to that. So Shar, by the end of the day or by the end of that, I followed up with blah, 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 blah. Now, why is this? This is literally the build. This is the actions. This is what you're doing and what you're not doing. This is going to put it smack in front of your face of going, hey, I'm either actually doing the business or I am basically a Costco ambassador. What do I call a Costco ambassador? You got a membership, you're buying stuff from the club, but you ain't making any money. Nothing wrong with just being a part of the club. but I don't want you to get it twisted and say, I'm here for financial freedom, but you're not doing the actions. That's like owning a gym membership and not going and expecting to get a result. It doesn't work that way. All right. So you got to get it. Now, here's the biggest killer: consistency. So being inconsistent is your biggest Achilles heel. It's my biggest Achilles heel. So I'll never forget. I remember the first time, like I was like, okay, because growing up, I was a professional hip hop dancer. So I literally, I was like 145 pounds, like soaking wet, and when you're 20 years old and you're doing cardio all day long, you can eat anything you want. It doesn't matter. Right. Anyway, I get into business. By the time I'm 24, I'm like transitioning out of dance. I'm full time into building network marketing. And a lot of the meetings are at night, and it's like you're doing in-home meetings and it's like chips, dip, and soda. And all of a sudden I have these bad eating habits. And all of a sudden I start gaining weight and I'm like not happy with it. Right. So I'm not happy with it. By the way, Steve, this one's for you. Not happy with my weight. And I never forget, I'm in Florida. I can't sleep. It's late at night and I turn on the TV. I never watch TV and infomercials pop on. You guys remember infomercials? Right? So, in infomercials, and this dude pops on named Tony. Do you guys know Tony? And he's selling this program called P90X. You guys remember this? So you guys remember this program, right? So P90X, which stands for like plyometrics, 90 days, and it's like X something, I don't know, right? So, and anyway, I'm watching this program and you're seeing these people and the testimonials got me, right? Because Tony's like bouncing off the walls and doing these workouts. The infomercial's pretty good. If you guys remember these infomercials, right? They were pretty fire, right? So I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm buying this program, right? So I buy the program. I never forget. I get it home. It's on DVD, right? So P90X, right? So I put it in the first one and get it. And I'm stoked to do this, right? Now, I haven't worked out in years. I haven't done weight training in years, right? And the first one, yeah, Sean is like the X means death, 100%, right? So that's what the X stood for. So you start, and Tony is, you're getting started and you're doing it, and literally the first day is upper body. Like I don't know what, like they start with upper body and you're doing all these calisthenic movements and plyometrics and and all this. And I'll never forget, like, no joke, literally as soon as I'm going to die, Tony goes, all right guys, now that we're done with the warm-up, like, excuse me, right? And if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you ever did this, and my favorite thing about Tony is he's got like the people behind him, right? And he's got the one woman, and then he's got the guys who like, by the way, if you can't do this, you can do the modified moves. You know how out of shape you are when you can't do the modified moves, and you're like, give me a joke, and then okay, you're going through this, and by like day one, I do this. I wake up the next morning, I can't straighten my arms. I cannot straighten my arms. If you guys ever did this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you ever did this workout, right? I physically couldn't straighten I'm like this, trying to straighten my arms. I can't drive. I can't get my hands up high enough. So this is my turns. Right. So it was disgusting. Now the next day, it's more like legs. It's like plyometrics jumping up and down, right? So and the next one, and this one is when Tony kicks you low. Like he kicks you so bad because he's got his boy Jeff over here, right? Who's doing like the modified moves, and he's pointing, and he's like, by the way, check out Jeff. Jeff has a prosthetic leg. And Jeff is doing all the jumping, and it's like, you're out of shape when you're getting your ass kicked by a guy with one leg, right? In an exercise you can't do. I remember just sitting down watching it and being like, go Tony, go. You know what I mean? I was just like, this is stupid. So anyway, now why am I bringing this up to you? Many of you, this is the feeling that you have when you jumped into this. That's it. I'm going for financial freedom. I'm getting my in shape. I'm getting my life together. I'm gonna make this thing happen. And you bought the set, and then you got onto here and you just went, oh, like you did, it was like too much too fast, right? So now when I was at home by myself, I can tell you it's easy just to watch other people work out. Okay. But there's no result for you in it. But here's the thing I didn't have back then that made me stop doing it. It wasn't because the content wasn't good. It wasn't because Tony's workouts wasn't good. It wasn't because the CD, DVD set, the training wasn't good. It wasn't because the P90X program wasn't good. I didn't have a workout partner that was on my level doing it with me every day, going like, hey, yeah, dude, I can't freaking move my arms either. But it's okay. Let's do it again. Let's do what we can. Come on, just a little bit more, just one more. Just let's make it happen. Right. So your workout partner is so, 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 so important. Now, let me give you a few things that you can do with your workout partner if you want to spice them up and have a little bit more fun. Okay. So, two things. Write this down in your notes is competition. Now, in competition, you can do two different types of competitions. One is at pleasure, second is pain. Okay. So humans are motivated by these two things, and that's pretty much about it when you boil it all down, right? So pain and pleasure. And now humans are more motivated by pain than they are by gain or pleasure. So just keep that in mind. However, when you have a workout partner, so let's say Shar is my workout partner, and we are committed to doing, I'm committed to doing 2 exposures a day, or I'm committed to doing 2 presentations a day, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. Now we can make a goal collectively that, hey, Shar, if you and I do this, we're going to celebrate at the end of this. We're going to Disneyland, well, right, but or whatever, right? Where it could be something small, right? So we're going to this, a reward. So a reward towards it if we do it together. Now, for some of you, doing it collectively as a reward system works for you. For others of you, it's a competition, right? So Shar and I are in a competition of whoever can sign up the most people this month. And at the end of this month, right? So through this program, the winner is buying dinner. The loser is buying dinner for the winner, and we're going to Morton Steakhouse or whatever, right? So okay, whatever it is, or we're going to Oceans 44 in Scottsdale, my favorite restaurant there. So whatever it may be on this, okay. So it might be a competition; those are fun. And now it's not going to crush you, right? There's that. Now, that could be a goal or a competition or something that you're doing with your workout partner on a regular basis that can be reward oriented or reward and pain, right? Because I'm losing, you're winning, it's costing me something, right? Now, you can also put in there, for those of you guys that are looking for some extra motivation. By the way, I'm going to scale this up and tier this up to be more and more aggressive. Just so you guys know, when I get to the point where your threshold hits, just check out. Just be like, la, 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 earmuffs. Okay. So, okay. Because I'm about to go to like crazy level in a minute. Okay. So here is for those of you guys that are looking for, here's the reason why, man. If it's like, you know what to do, and if you can just get yourself to do it. So I was like, I had to find ways to force myself and use the motivators of psychology and pain and pleasure to get myself to do what I know I needed to do every day in order for me to live the life that I wanted. Okay. So I put in daily pleasure or daily pain. Now, this is different than a competition for the month or the week, right? So what I mean by that is, let's say it was my exposures or invites. I got to do 2 invites every day. Just giving you a simple example, right? So I got to do 2 invites every day. If I don't do my 2 invites every day, for every day I don't do my 2 invites, I have to send Shar $10. Oh, now there's a consequence towards doing it or not doing it, right? So, okay, now here's what a lot of people think. Well, if I don't do my invites today, it doesn't mean anything. Here's the thing. That mentality is why most people stay broke in our profession, because they think there's no consequence to not doing it. There is. You know what the consequence is? Literally another day out from your financial freedom. Another day of not being able to do everything you've ever wanted to do. Another day of not being able to tithe more. Another day of not being able to contribute more. Another day forward, right? So another year forward. So what we're talking about here is this: there is a consequence. Now, what if you could make the pain immediate though? Because there isn't a pain immediately when it comes to your health. Like if Shar and I are on a fitness journey and we're the same weight, same level of BMI, same level of physical fitness, and she has a protein shake today and I have a McDonald's, there's no difference in us today, but there is a consequence. It just doesn't show up right away. But if I ate McDonald's today and I literally immediately gained 10 pounds, people would rethink that decision. Right? So what happens is, what if I could bring the pain of future consequence of not doing something consistently and put it in daily? Could I make it more relevant? So, okay, sure. Okay. Now, with jobs, there's a built-in accountability, because if you don't show up for work that day, maybe one day you can get away with it. But if you don't show up 2 days in a row and for no reason, you don't have a job. There's built-in consequences towards it, right? With us, if you don't do anything, what's the consequence? Nothing. In fact, most people won't even know you did nothing, right? In fact, you can be pretending to do Viago for so long, people think you're actually doing it, wondering why you're not further in the business. It's wild business model, right? So consequence. I could do that. That's one thing I could do. Now, the other thing you can do is challenges. Write this down. Challenges. So one of my workout partners many years ago was a woman named Liz, amazing woman. And she was known to being a good recruiter. And so I was like, you know what? I need to recruit more people. So I asked her, we were at about the same rank. I said, look, hey, do you want to be workout partners? Let's do a challenge, right? It wasn't an ongoing thing. It was a short spurt. And I was like, okay, what's the challenge? And I was like, we're going to go for no, because we just read this book, Go for No. And I was like, all right, here's what we want to do. We're going to do, instead of tracking 100 presentations, we're going to track 100 no's. But the key was someone has to have seen the presentation. Meaning, if I see a homeboy out there, you have an AOL.com email. So what, dude? Is that Al? Al Poet 11? So right. So I don't know your. I'm gonna guess your name's Al. I'm just gonna call you AOL until you change that. Because come on, man. But he's holding up the book, I think, that says "Go for No." But anyway, in this book, the rule was we have to have done a presentation. Someone said no after presentation, meaning if we sent them an invite and they said, I'm not interested, that didn't count. They'd have to say no after presentation. That was the rule. And the goal was whoever gets to 100 no's first, won something. I don't remember what the prize was. It wasn't super significant. We just wanted the challenge to do it together. And what we were doing is every day we would send each other a number. I'm at 7 of 100 no's, 8 out of 100 no's, 9 out of 100 no's. And we were sending it back and forth. Anyway, so we didn't even finish the competition because we got to like 20 something no's. We had so many new signups that we were like, I can't even continue with this. So it was amazing. So competitions, challenges, those could be something that could be fun. Meaning, what if you took the thing you're avoiding and turned it into a competition or a fun thing with your workout partner? If you're avoiding follow-ups, what if follow-ups became the fun thing that you do a competition with? Okay. Gamify it. Absolutely, Shanda. So, okay. Now, inside of this, those are a couple of things. Now, I'm going to give you the last level here for those of you guys that want to go super psycho on your workout partners. Okay. Let's say Char's my workout partner and you want to add max pain to this bad boy, right? So you're like, okay, I'm going to get this thing to get done. Here's something I did with a workout partner a long time ago. And when I say this worked on a level I've never experienced anything for, but it is aggressive. So warning. Okay. Let's say Char's my workout partner and we decide instead of the $10, because that's not painful enough, we did something different. We're like, okay, what would be more painful? All right. So if I don't do my exposures today, I have to sleep on the floor. Oof. Now there's some real painful consequence. Now, how many times did I sleep on the floor? Some of you guys said none. Nope, once. But once was enough for it to be painful enough, right? For me to do my exposures every day, right? To be accountable. Now, do you have to be 7 days a week? No, you can do 6 days. Everyone's allowed to have a day of rest, a family day, a God day, a celebration day, right? So you don't need to do 7, but you got to do 6. Okay. So listen, so there's that. But here's the next level of it. If you want to take your workout partner to the next level, now you have to have a workout partner who's game for this, but this is aggressive, is if I don't do what I said I'm going to do, my workout partner gets the pain. Oh, meaning, Shar, if I don't do my 2 exposures today, you have to sleep on the floor. Now we are in a different relationship. Right? Why? Because now I'm not just accountable to my goals. If I don't do what I said I'm going to do, somebody else has to suffer. Ooh, now some of you guys are like, oh, I don't like that. Yeah, because how many of you guys will do more for others than you'll do for yourself? Now, all of a sudden, there's a different level of accountability towards each other. Now, do you think halfway through the day, Shar is thinking about me? And if I did my 2 exposures, yeah. She might be even texting me like, hey, you got your 2 done, right? She's not even, it's like assumptive, right? Now, if I've gotten through my entire workday at 6 p.m. and I haven't got my 2 exposures, Shar might drive over to my house and pick my ass up and be like, we are going to talk to 2 people right now, buddy. Right? So we're hopping on Zoom, on FaceTime, on video chat, and you're getting this thing done because I ain't sleeping on the floor tonight, right? There's a level of accountability. Now, here's an interesting thing that I want you guys to get. Now, again, you got to be careful with this, right? Some of you, this is playing with fire. But I want you guys to understand, again, on what for me is whatever you have to figure out a way to do without putting yourself in any harm or danger or anything like that, to get yourself to do the actual habits that are required to be successful. Now, what do we start this entire training with? Tracking. That's what we're talking about here. What we're trying to do is develop successful habits of the right actions to do consistently over a period of time, develop the right habits. And then what happens is you win. That's it. People say, well, why? How come some people win, some people don't? Because the successful people have successful habits. Period. End of conversation. We don't need to overcomplicate this bad boy, right? So if I'm doing this with Shar, then I can do that. Now we can and start doing that. I did this with a workout partner, and I'll tell you what, we never missed. Now, there's a weird function in our brain that happens when you do this of realizing that if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, other people are in pain. Now, here's what's interesting. For many of you, for the first time ever, that's a real thing that's happening. If I don't do the exposures that I'm supposed to be doing, my daughter will be in pain because I am not doing what I need to do to give her the life that I know that she deserves. Meaning for the people that I'm responsible for. Now, I'm not responsible for my whole team. By the way, you're not responsible for anyone's success inside of your team. I know many of you feel like it. You're not. They're responsible for their life. Okay. The life you're responsible for is yours. However, there are people in your life that are counting on you, and they're counting on you to win. And by not producing this and not doing this stuff, there is a pain. But so for me, I looked at it going, okay, if pain is the biggest motivator in life, how can I use it in a way that gets me to do the things I know so I can have the freedom that I'm looking for? So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about here today. It's a little bit of a meaty subject here, but if we're looking at it going, okay, so what do I do April 15th? So April 15th basically means that today, how do I finish today strong and successful? So that way I can finish the 16th successful. I can finish the 17th successful. For those of you guys that want to be club 6 and walk the stage and amplify, for those of you guys that want to get to 5, 10, 10, 20, 25, what all those things is learning to be those. And you don't need hours a day to do your business successfully. In fact, what we want to do is cut out the fluff, cut out all the time consuming baloney that isn't actually getting you the result, and get down to brass's tacks and understand that the thing that many of you guys, and the only thing that are finishing most of you guys, is having a good workout partner and getting yourself to track things and be accountable towards those actions that need to happen daily to produce the result. Okay. And if you do those things, all of a sudden, now in the beginning, it might feel painful. I understand. Right. Like a good example is I just started weight training again. I did legs on Monday. It's Wednesday morning for me right now. I can't walk, guys, right now. I, I I tried to get at, I've got a bet. Like my wife is like, "Oh, what is wrong with you?" Daphne is like, "Are you like okay?" Because I'm moving, I'm moaning, like I'm like, like like I'm about to sit down in my chair. I have my standing desk, and the idea of sitting in my chair right now is like, I don't want to do that. So and guess what I'm doing? I'm going to meet my workout partner again at 2 o'clock today because we've got another workout. Yesterday we did shoulders, and yesterday we did shoulders. So tomorrow it's gonna suck. Now here's the thing: I've done this before now, right? So I've done this before, so I know what it's like, and I know the first 3 weeks are gonna suck. This just is what it is, right? So and then we'll be back into it. But for me, how do I do this is to be consistent. Here's what I want for you guys to do is this. After the first few weeks, it sucks, but then guess what? It feels good, man. It feels so good, right? So, and especially when you do something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, not in your shock zone, not into your danger zone, not into your I'm getting hurt zone, but something that pushes you. It's a little uncomfortable, but it gets you to that point where that's where that growth is. So I am so proud of you guys for the work that you're doing. This is not easy. So going out there and building your freedom and going against the grain and having people that are maybe not even on your side or against you, and especially when it's loved ones that don't see where you're doing, they don't see the path that you're on, they don't even understand the path that you're on, they don't understand why you're on a Zoom call at night at 10 p.m. on a East Coast time. Like they're just like, what is wrong? Well, every Tuesday night, So well, you're gonna go to another training? I thought you just went to a training. You didn't learn from the last training, Like, listen, I get it, man. So I know what it's like to show up at Thanksgiving dinners and have my aunt literally tell my grandma and my mother, "I can't believe you're letting your son do one of those stupid things. How gross." So like yeah, and I know what that's like. So if you are in a space right now where you're just like, look, nobody's on my side and nobody's with me, I want to tell you right now that is a flat out lie. Why am I telling you? Is because we are with you. We have got you. And if you show up in Atlanta, you're going to be surrounded, enveloped, and loved on, and supported, and inspired, and motivated, and slightly, we're going to kick your butt. And the reason why is this is because we are expecting you to raise your standards and to grow. We don't expect you to stay where you are. We expect you to step up, and we're going to call out that highest person and being inside of you to go out there and show people, not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. And when you get a chance to do that, you're not alone in this journey, even if you feel like you wake up and you're by yourself. So technically, if you think about it, we're all your workout partners in this journey together to build Viago, but you need to have somebody on a daily basis. So if you don't have a workout partner, do your best to find one through the group, but more importantly, here's my recommendation. Over these next couple of weeks, do the actions, do the steps, and do the program. Show up at Amplify in Atlanta with some momentum behind you and find your buddy there and go, look, for 90 days, lockstep and barrel, you and me, we're going to do this thing for 90 days and you're going to run into the next event. And I tell you what, it's going to be very difficult for any of you to convince me that you're not going to cross the stage, not at rank advancing, but double advancing at the next event between now and the next one, because you're doing the right actions. So let's go out there and close April out strong, because these promotions and the April showers the company promotion has on the table are huge, but none of that makes a difference if you aren't doing the steps. So love you guys. Let's go crush it. Can't wait to see you in Atlanta, and have a blessed week. Bye for now.